Hi, Kinder Scientist. In science so far, we have been working with a lot of different topics. We talked about living versus non-living things, and we discovered that plants are actually living things. Next, we talked about the parts of a plant and why each of those parts are very important for the plant to survive. Then we talked about the plant life cycle and the stages that it goes through as it grows. This week, we talked about plant needs. We know that a plant needs soil, water, and sunlight to thrive and grow. We also watched Pete plant his very own seed.
And just like Pete found a seed and planted it, you are going to be making your own plant. So we talked to Mom and Dad and we let them know you needed some supplies for this experiment. You should have a plastic cup. It may not look exactly like this one, but you should have some sort of clear cup and some sort of dried bean. I have a few here. This is an organic pinto bean. This is just a lima bean. And this is another kind of pinto bean, but this one is a different color and it's not organic. So I'm curious how they will grow differently. So you just need to have one dried bean, and you can find these kind of beans in the soup aisle at the grocery store. We also have some potting soil and some water, because you know that a plant needs all these to grow. All right, so we're going to show you how to do your plant in a cup. The first thing we need to do is fill up our cup with some soil. Give that to Mrs. Bellaterra. And it's okay if you make a mess. You just clean it up afterwards. Nice. All right, so I am going to choose a lima bean. I've had a lot of success growing lima beans. Woo, they just spilled all out. Now you want to look for a good lima bean. You want to look for one whose seed coat is intact. That means that white part is all the way around and it's not cracked. Some of them can be chipped or cracked and you don't want to do those. So the bean has a little part that I like to call like the belly button on one side. It's smooth on one side and it has like the belly button on the other side. That's the part where it broke off of the plant. This is the side where the root is going to grow. All right, so I thought it would be really cool if we could watch the roots grow. So I'm gonna tuck my seed down the side. I'm gonna turn it towards me for a second so I can see. All right, so if you look closely, I have the seed right up to the side. That way, as the roots start to grow, you can watch them. And I'm gonna put a couple more seeds in here too. I'm gonna put one of these red pinto beans, and again, right along the side, that way I can watch it grow. Once I push it down there, I move the dirt over the top of it. And let's do one of these cool organic looking spotted pinto beans. All right, let's see, right here might be good. All right, once I have them in there, and you can see them on the side, and you could do a few if you wanted to, if you had extra different kinds of beans, or if you wanted to do like 3 lima beans, just don't put too many in there. And there's one more thing that we need to do. What do you think it is? So we have the soil, we have the seed. What is it going to need to start growing? Did you say water? If you did, you're right. So Mrs. Bates doesn't have a green thumb. A green thumb is when you're really good at growing plants. So I'm gonna do my best to put the right amount of water in. Mrs. Bellaterra, you said you heard a trick about...
I did hear a trick. So I'm also not much of a green thumb, though I've been taking really good care of some succulents that were gifted to me recently. And what I've heard is just to keep an eye on your soil. And if the soil is looking a little bit dry, then it's definitely time to add some water. The soil needs to be as much moist as it should.
I don't know if you can see the difference. Down at the bottom, there's some dry soil, but where the seeds are, it's moist.
Now, as long as the top, that's
yes,
what they said. If the top looks like it's moist and not dried out, then you're good to go. Otherwise, add a little bit of water.
And sometimes you can tell just by touching the top as well. A plant is something you're not going to water every day. It's something you have to take a look at every day and see if it needs to add a little bit more water or not, okay? But if you add too much water, your seed can get moldy and not grow. Okay, so one last step for our plant. For it to grow the best, it needs what thing? Sunlight. So I'm gonna go place this over in the window and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's there. So there is my cup sitting on the windowsill. It is important for plants to get sunlight. So make sure you have a spot in your house. It doesn't have to be right on a windowsill, but maybe near a window where it can get some light. You might want to even try putting it outside. But you have to pay attention to when it rains, because rain could make it get over wet. All right, so what we're going to be doing is having you keep an eye on your plant every day and watch to see how it changes. And then each week we're going to have a little selfie with your plant photo album for you to upload to show us how your plant is doing. All right, we're really excited for this project. I hope you are too.